Authorities in North Carolina have confirmed a devastating aviation tragedy. Retired NASCAR star Greg Biffle, his wife, and their 2 children are among 7 people killed in a plane crash near Statesville, north of Charlotte. The crash has sent shockwaves through the racing world and far beyond it, claiming the life of a champion driver remembered not only for his success on the track, but for his compassion and selfless service to others. Greg Biffle's longtime friend Garrett Mitchell, better known as Cletus McFarland, had earlier stated that Biffle, his wife, and their 2 children were aboard the aircraft that tragically went down at Statesville Airport. Biffle loved flying, and he was in the air again Thursday aboard a small jet that crashed at the Statesville Airport north of Charlotte. Authorities say the small jet went down near Statesville Regional Airport, killing all 7 people on board. Investigators have not yet released a cause, but confirmed the aircraft crashed shortly after arrival in the area. Officials say 55-year-old Biffle was believed to be among those killed, along with his wife Cristina, their young son Ryder, and daughter Emma. The statement identified the others on board as Dennis Dutton, his son Jack, and Craig Wadsworth, all beloved by many in the NASCAR community. The National Transportation Safety Board and FAA are now leading the investigation, with wreckage secured and evidence being examined.
Right around 10:15 a.m., we were alerted to a airplane crash here at the Statesville Regional Airport. Members arrived. It was a single airplane involved collision that took place. Initial reports are that the plane had taken off from this facility and immediately were reapproaching to land when the crash took place. At this point, we identified the tail number. The tail number was N as in Nora 257, B as in boy, W as in William. That is the aircraft that was registered to GB Aviation Leasing, and that GB Aviation is directly tied to Mr. Greg Biffle, who people know from the NASCAR industry. It is confirmed that 7 occupants from that aircraft died as a result of that crash. Because of the post-crash fire that was associated with that crash, we're not able to give those 7 names at this point definitively. We have to be able to say without a doubt that the person that was deceased is the name we're tying to, so we'll have to wait for the medical examiner's confirmation for those 7 occupants before we can say definitively those 7 names. It is believed that based on the people that were indicated to be on that flight, along with eyewitness accounts of who entered that airplane prior to it departing, that Mr. Greg Biffle and several of his immediate family were of the deceased. We can say that our members have been here on the scene and will continue to provide security for the crash area, for the airplane itself, to ensure that the evidence related to this investigation will be looked after throughout the night. The NTSB will be the investigating agency, and they are the ones that will be able to determine what occurred with this crash. They're planning on being here first thing in the morning. Members of the FAA have been here throughout the night, but those NTSB folks will be here in the morning. All indications right now are that it did depart this facility, and in a very short time frame was on a reapproach and appeared to be coming back in for a landing at the time. But why that occurred, what was happening at the time, we don't have that, and that's something the NTSB will determine.
A joint statement released on behalf of the victims described overwhelming grief. Statement reads that Greg and Cristina were devoted parents whose lives were centered around their children. Their daughter Emma was described as a kind soul, loved by many, while Ryder was remembered as curious, joyful, and full of life. Greg Biffle was one of NASCAR's most respected competitors, selected by the sport as one of its top 75 drivers in history and a Hall of Fame nominee. Across an 18-year career at NASCAR's highest level, Biffle made more than 800 starts across the Cup, Xfinity, and Truck Series, winning 54 races and 2 national championships. He remains the only driver to win titles in both the Truck Series and Xfinity Series, and spent nearly his entire career driving for Roush Fenway Racing. Biffle's best Cup Series season came in 2005 when he finished second in the championship standings to Tony Stewart. 3 years later, he made history again, becoming the first driver to win 2 playoff races in a single season. He earned his Cup ride through Roush's legendary Gong Show driver selection process, a proving ground that launched some of NASCAR's greatest careers. Though he transitioned into semi-retirement in 2016, Biffle returned in 2022 to race again, including a start in the Daytona 500. But beyond the checkered flags, Greg Biffle may be remembered most for what he did off the track. After Hurricane Helene devastated parts of North Carolina and East Tennessee, Biffle used his personal helicopter to fly life-saving supplies into isolated mountain communities. He spent countless hours in the air, coordinating rescues, delivering food and medicine, and responding to thousands of desperate messages for help. In 2024, those efforts earned him the Myers Brothers Award from the National Motorsports Press Association for humanitarian service. During one mission, Biffle spotted a man signaling for help with a mirror from a remote location. After multiple attempts, Biffle managed to land, deliver supplies, and assist nearby families. Biffle later recounted what started out as rescuing one family turned into 4,000 messages, and it went viral. He returned months later, not for cameras, but to check on those he had helped. In recent days, Biffle had shared moments of quiet joy, including a family outing to pick a Christmas tree, ice cream in hand, smiles all around. Now, investigators work to determine what caused the crash, as the racing world and a grieving community mourn a man remembered not just for speed, but for heart.